Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nicole Frolic, and today I want to talk to you about a pretty big, awesome galactic event that's happening at the end of this week, but is going to be starting on the 19th. You're going to feel the energies leading up to this weekend, and there's something really beautiful happening, and it's all around activations for awakening, self-realization, as well as divine partnerships, perhaps getting awakenings of their own. So before I get into all of that, I just want to let you know that we also have a couple other events happening. We have Mars finally entering Scorpio, which is its home sign. It's very happy here, which means when a planet enters its home sign, it's really good for manifestation. Okay, lots of manifestation power behind it. Mars is very driven, it's very active, and it's very persevering. So with this sign of moving into Scorpio, it means that we're going to be very driven to pull things to the surface. If we're avoiding things about ourselves or avoiding things that need healing, we're no longer going to be avoiding them now. We've been going through Scorpio season, which always likes to pull truths to the surface, but now that we have Mars going into Scorpio for the next 6 weeks or so, you're going to notice leading from here until the end of the year, you're going to really feel a huge transformative activation within you. Okay, there's this deep desire within us to want to transform things, to heal what needs to be healed, and to really get acquainted with the truth of our own selves, what we need to know about that. We also have a Mercury finally going direct on the 20th, and it becomes visible on the 21st. When a planet becomes visible, it's about things coming to the surface, okay? So communications, Mercury is the big planet of communications and technology. And so if things have been, like especially within partnership and things like that, if you've been feeling like there's been miscommunication, misunderstandings, lack of communication, all that kind of stuff, you're going to feel a sigh of relief this week as Mercury goes direct. But because it becomes visible as well, there's a huge power behind Mercury. And when we think about things being invisible, they're hidden, right? And when something becomes visible, it's coming to the surface to be seen. And so you're going to experience a lot of communication this week, which the reason why I'm talking about these two things is because they're important, and they're going to lead into what's actually happening with this big galactic event, which I think is so divine. And for all of you, I go into a lot of this stuff in my alchemy program. So if you're interested in joining that, all that information is in the description below. You'll get a lot of detail, and you'll get a lot of understanding of what to look forward to over the next month or so each month. Now, on the 19th, as Mars goes into Scorpio, we also have Jupiter aligning with the galactic center. The galactic center is placed to roughly around 27 degrees Sagittarius, okay? When we think about our galactic center, that is where the alignment is, roughly 26 to 28 degrees Sag, but you know, this is where it lies. And we have Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, entering the galactic center. Now, the galactic center is where all of our downloads come from, our activations. It is the awakening center. It is what's it's literally what awakens us. All of the divine blessings that we have, our creative impulses, our inspiration, all comes from this galactic center. So when a planet starts to cross this area, okay, 27 degrees Sag, you will experience huge awakenings and activations that have to deal with that planet. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of self-realization. It is the planet of success. And so we're going to be experiencing, starting on the 19th until the 24th this weekend, you're going to start noticing that we're all going to be experiencing high frequencies of downloads, activations for awakenings. It's going to be a rather divinely blessed week. Now, what's also happening is on the 23rd, Venus conjuncts Jupiter while it's in the galactic center. Venus is just the ruling planet of love. And so when you have the ruling planet of love, as well as like material wealth and sensual pleasures, we're going to see this influx of high frequency coming through in love. So heart openings, heart activations, as well as potentially within divine partnerships. All of the energy coming through the galactic center is always divine. It's divinely blessed. It comes from Father creation. And so with this event happening, what I am getting is that potentially, whether you're, if you're following like a twin flame journey or a soulmate journey, or perhaps just even divine partnership, that there's going to be some sort of activation within this region, a heart opening, something to really awaken and broaden. When we think about Jupiter, expansive, broadening our horizons of the ability to perceive things, to see things, to understand things. So it's a huge week of blessings coming in. The only thing I'm going to say is just to be mindful of is that Mars is also right around the time Jupiter's leaving the galactic center, is that we're going to have a Mars in Uranus opposition. Now, it makes sense because in a way I feel like this is actually not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something to be very mindful of, because when you have an opposition, opposing forces, Mars is very feisty, Mars is very aggressive, Mars likes to do things, get things done. And when you have Uranus, the planet of shock and sudden change happening and opposing those, there's this energy coming in for potential arguments, fights, eruptions, that sort of thing, of a very passionate nature. Mars is a very passionate planet. But I will say this, when we think about it, if you've been spiritually awakened in any capacity, you know there is nothing super pleasant about it most of the time. The awakening process can be actually quite painful and quite scary at times. There's other times it's divinely beautiful, but the awakening process can be quite scary. And so if you are in partnership with someone or working in communication in some way, or perhaps it's just higher communication at this point, have the compassion of the Venus energy and understand that the awakening process can trigger a lot of things within us. Be mindful of this. And if you have the spiritual responsibility and awareness, as Jupiter is really allowing us to go through as it passes through the galactic center, across the galactic center, these high frequencies of deeper understanding, higher conscious evolution, those will be benefiting you, and use that to your advantage to understand and see things from a higher perspective this week. So be prepared for activations and awakenings this week in many different levels, okay? Depending on where Jupiter and Venus, like where Sagittarius falls in your placement, okay, whatever home Sagittarius is for you. For instance, I'm a Taurus. That is in the sign of relationships for me because it's in my 7th house. So it's going to really be amplifying a lot within my relationships. You can take a look to see what house Sagittarius is for you, and you'll get a deeper understanding of how Jupiter and Venus will be influencing you in many ways. If you guys are going through a lot of heart, if you feel like a heart opening happening, or you need some guidance around it, I've just uploaded a heart activation, or a heart opening, I should say, meditation in my alchemy program that you can get access to. So all that is in the link description below if you guys are interested, if you need it, okay? So if you need that heart guided meditation for an opening, it's about journeying into the cavern of the heart chakra is what it's called. You can access that down below through the alchemy program. And so guys, this is going to be an amazing week. It's full of blessings. But just be mindful of the triggering effect of awakening, okay? Because I know we've all been triggered through awakening and it happens, but there's a lot of beautiful energy here that is, to me, a divine guidance and a divine gift. I feel like this is a huge week of gifts being bestowed upon us. If we are really aware and in that alignment, we'll be able to capitalize on it even further. So just something to be mindful of. Okay, if you need any more information about me, you can head on over to my website, inflexibleme.com. I have a website there that and a newsletter that you can subscribe to. Podcast comes out every Thursday, Enlighten Up. You can check that out in iTunes. And if you need any more information about me, it's all in the description below. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful, blessed week, and I'll be back with you all really soon.